Ranadev, to you first, the biggest mistake tonight, not sending Morgan higher than where he was sent out to bat?
Yeah, I mean, I'm quite convinced that, if you see Eoin Morgan, he's the England captain. For England, he goes higher than where he's going for KKR. I honestly feel that number 4 is his place because he's someone who's got the ability to control the game. If there are a couple of wickets down, he can manage, he can go through the innings, he can control the middle overs and obviously blast at the end. So he's somebody who needs to play more balls. And I think Russell should come after him. And if Russell and Morgan play, it's going to be much easier for Kolkata. I definitely feel that number 4 is Eoin Morgan's place.
But Ranadev, today Russell got a promotion. However, he was unable to capitalize the position that he was sent in. Would you say that he came under the pressure at that point?
See, Russell is somebody who's going to go after the bowlers. What I feel is that Russell's batting order should be floating. After 12 and 13 overs, Russell should go into bat. He should get around 20-25 balls, and if he can hit those balls, then I think he will probably get 40-45 odd runs, and that's going to be brilliant. But if you send him too early, he's not somebody who's going to get those singles and move on with the middle orders. He's somebody who's going to go after the bowlers. So I think you give him that for 20-25 odd balls, send him after 12-13 overs. I think he's going too early.
Right. Abhijit, I know stressful times. The match is about to come to an end. Kolkata are on 207 for 8. What would you say is the one big thing you would have wanted for your team to change in this match?
First of all, KKR should have batted first because of the scoreboard pressure there. There are a few sixes from Morgan, but still the chase were almost over by the time Morgan came in. So KKR should have batted first in Sharjah against Rabada and Nokia. They should have given a good chance of building the score and then defend it.
Ranadev, you agree with that? KKR should have batted first after winning the toss?
See, unlike India, obviously in last IPL, if you see, most of the franchise captains, they were winning the toss and they were fielding. They wanted to chase, but it's not happening this year. So, yeah, they could have batted first, but I still feel I'm not very convinced about the batting order, the way Kolkata Knight Riders is operating. I still feel Sunil Narine, he shouldn't be opening anymore. He's not giving any confidence to the batting unit. Rahul Tripathi, we've seen him before. He has done exceedingly well every time he has opened. So he could have opened today, and Sunil Narine could have, come down. So I think I'm still very confused, and I'm not convinced about the batting order.
And do you think it's about time that Kolkata experimented a little bit with Tom Banton?
See, as long as Dinesh Karthik is playing, and you actually have 4 very, very good overseas. So it's not going to be easy for Kolkata team management to fit in Banton unless and until Dinesh Karthik gets injured or something else happens to him. But otherwise, if you see, you cannot drop any of the 4 overseas who are playing unless until you really want to drop Sunil Narine and get Kuldeep in and probably get Banton in. I don't see that happening, but obviously if they're desperate, they might try out on that.
Right. Let me tell our viewers that the match is over. Kolkata Knight Riders has lost the match. They managed to score 210 for 8. Ahan, I can see those smiles on your face. Biggest takeaway from the game?
I think the biggest takeaway for us has to be the batting. Shreyas Iyer and Rishabh Pant as well as Prithvi Shaw, they all stood up today. They batted really fast for the wicket. They paced their innings. And I think the batting, they paced the innings beautifully. They batted well. They were 89 in 10 overs and they just launched it from there and got us to 220. And the other big takeaway is the bowling of Eindrik Nokia, because after Rabada got hit for 50 runs in 4 overs, it was up to him to save the game against Morgan. And he more than did that. He took the wicket. He gave away only 4 runs and he's won us the game at the end.
No one really talks about Amit Mishra, the break that he gave you. Randeep, would you like to take that question as to, the way Amit Mishra comes in and bowls those slower ones, bowls those leg spinners, and very craftily provides breaks at crucial junctures?
Yeah, he's very, very experienced. He's very, very skillful. He exactly knows what he's doing. His game analysis is very, very good. So yeah, he's somebody who needs much more appreciation. And in today's game, I would also want to appreciate Harshal Patel, the way he has bowled. I think that's also, I'm convinced that he has also improved a lot. So I think, yeah, it's a fantastic bowling by DC, and also Shreyas Iyer, hats off to him. But on the other hand, if you see Kolkata bowlers did struggle today. When the overseas bowlers gives away more than 10 runs and over, you're bound to struggle.
Abhijit, there's a lot of debate on Kolkata's opening partnership. As a fan, who would you like to open?
As a fan, I would love to see Tripathi opening, because in that way we can fit in Chris Green at the end. So for me, it has to be between Shubman Gill and Shubman Gill and Rahul Tripathi.
Let me ask Ahan, since this show is called Turning Point, I would like to know from you, what did you think was the turning point of tonight?
I think there were two. I think the biggest one was when we got Russell out, because in a chase like this, Andre Russell holds the key. He's the man who can clear the boundary with ease and get sixes at ease. And the fact that Rabada was brought back for 1 over to get Russell out, and he got him out in that over off a bouncer, that was a big turning point. And then obviously later in the game, Morgan's wicket was a turning point, because he was taking the game away from us at the end. And the fact that we got his wicket and a very cheap over in that 19th over. So those were the two main turning points for me today.
Randeep, would you say now after this win, Delhi looks the most complete side in the tournament?
Yeah, I think they are playing really well, and I'm very happy the way they are operating, especially with the bowling unit and obviously with Shreyas Iyer's form, Rishabh Pant, the way he has batted. I think, yeah, they're looking a formidable side, and I'm very happy to see Delhi doing so well. They haven't done well over the years, but last year and this year they look very, very convincing.
We'll talk about Rishabh Pant, but let me ask you a question about the young guns who've, really come to the party in this IPL. The class of 2018, they are being called. Many of them from the 2018 World Cup winning side. We saw Shubman Gill in action tonight, Prithvi Shaw, Kamlesh Nagarkoti and Shivam Mavi. What would you say about the quality of these players? Would you say that IPL is now fast tracking them to the Indian cricket team, and in the next in the course of next 1.5 years we will see most of them feature in the Indian team?
Yeah, don't forget Priyam Garg.
Right.
Yeah, I mean they have done wonderfully well for the under-19 team. I honestly feel that this young generation is not scared about anything. They are very, very confident. They've been nurtured by somebody who's been an absolute legend. So with all that, I feel that this young group looks very, very good. And I'm very happy the way that they have been nurtured and they've been exposed to the IPL or even to international cricket. Like Shubman Gill is already made it to the mid side. So I feel, yeah, this IPL is actually an Indian Premier League. There are a lot of Indian cricketers have been performing. They are not dependent on the overseas pros, and that's a very, very plus point for Indian and also for domestic cricket.
Now, since we have two very young fans on the show, I would also like to ask them, which of the youngsters who have really lit up the IPL stage impressed you? Abhijit, would you like to go first?
Being a KKR fan, I would definitely say Shubman Gill. The way he's got starts, he's definitely looking bright, and I'm sure he is going to be a contender for orange cap also.
And what about you, Ahan?
For me, if I was to look at Delhi, then I'd definitely say Prithvi Shaw is really standing up. But as a neutral, the youngster who's really who's really made me stand up and take notice is Devdutt Padikkal. I think he's looked really good. He's got 350s, and he for me, he's been the youngster of the tournament so far.
Right, and for you, Ranadev, if I asked you the same question, who's that one man who's really
one
impressed?
man is very difficult. I have got quite a few actually. I'm very convinced with Priyam Garg, Abhishek Sharma, Shubman Gill. Yeah, I mean there are quite a few. Padikkal is definitely one of them, and even I would say that Nagarkoti, Natarajan. There are quite a few actually. I'm very impressed with these young guns.
And being a fast bowler, you must really be impressed with Natarajan's Yorkers. Now, we will come back to the discussion, but let's have a look at the scorecard of the night. And we do know that Delhi batted first, and there on your screen is the scorecard. They managed to post 228 for 4. That's the highest score in the IPL, and they were powered to that score by an unbeaten 88 from Shreyas Iyer. Prithvi Shaw contributed 66 runs, Rishabh Pant scored 38 and Shikhar Dhawan 26. Andre Russell was the pick of the bowlers from Kolkata, picking 2 for 29. Kamlesh Nagarkoti and Varun Chakravarti picking 1 each. And Sunil Narine not managing to pick any of those wickets. In the second innings, Kolkata only managed 210 runs. They lost by 18 runs. Nitish Rana, of course, was the top scorer from Kolkata, having scored 58. Eoin Morgan 44, Rahul Tripathi 36, and Shubman Gill contributing 28 of those runs. Andrik Nortje taking 3 wickets for 33 runs. Harshal Patel 2 wickets. Amit Mishra 1. And Marcus Stoinis 1 wicket. Kolkata they're losing by 18 runs. Ranadev, let me come back to you. There isn't a very long turnaround time between matches these days, and the teams have to quickly recover from the losses, or even if they have won, they have to ground themselves. What does KKR do here on right now, to get back to winning ways?
I think they need to reconsider their opening pair. I have a feeling that, they've been successful with Narine last couple of years, but I honestly feel that this is probably the time you need to think of Tripathi opening with Shubman Gill. And I also feel that they should also ask Shubman Gill or Tripathi to stay till the 12th or the 13th over.
Right.
So if you need to win games, one of the openers should actually stay post 10 overs. So that's one thing they need to discuss. I think number 3, Nitish Rana is doing really well. Number 4, they should give Eoin Morgan a stability and actually tell him that you will be batting at number 4, no change on that. And then obviously you can play around with Russell, and I honestly feel that Dinesh Karthik is a fantastic finisher, so he should come accordingly according to the situation of the game. So they need to reconsider their batting lineup, and I think they're all right. But the only problem is that Sunil Narine is not bowling the way he used to do, and I feel that is the place. And also Kuldeep is not doing that way. So in that case, if they could have actually think of playing Kuldeep, giving him another opportunity, and maybe you get Banton in place of Sunil Narine. So that could have been a decent idea. Let's see what the think tank thinks of KKR.
Abhijit, there's a lot of talk on social media. Some of it is banter, but some, I believe, is trolling about Pat Cummins. Every time he doesn't perform, his auction price tag comes up. As a fan, how do you react to such behavior on social media?
See, in our second match, he answered everyone and silenced his critics. So this was one off match, and in a ground like this, even Rabada got hit for so many runs. So I strongly feel like, of course, the amount he went for in the auction, he is going to be told whenever he is going to hit for runs. But I don't think he's a strong player. He's from Australia, and he's definitely so much mentally strong that he will tackle all these things and come back stronger.
He will come back. Thank you very much for joining me on the show at this hour.